Make the text, make the font bigger? How do I do that? Appearance, font, interface font, font size. 20? There you go. Is there a way I can make the margins a bit smaller? I feel like these margins are outrageously huge. Paperwork signed by the fake Trump electors in 2 other states contained partial caveats. In New Mexico, the document they signed made clear that they were participating on the understanding that it might later be determined that we are the duly elected and qualified electors. In Pennsylvania, the document they signed indicated that they were participating on the understanding that if, as a result of a final non-appealable court order or other proceedings prescribed by law, we are ultimately recognized as being the duly elected and qualified electors. All 7 of these invalid sets of elector votes were then transmitted to Washington, D.C. Roman's team member in Georgia, for example, sent him an email. All the votes have been cast, blah, blah, blah. Major Daily Wire announcement in 1 minute.
There were good reasons to push out Cuomo.
Yeah.
Those are not the reasons that they chose.
Yeah.
Right? They still defend all the actual horrible things.
Major DW announcement. Oh, new talent. It's going to be new talent.
The things that they all do.
To replace Candace.
I mean, everybody despised him in New York. He was just one of those guys that nobody likes.
So we are 5 seconds away from our giant announcement for tonight. Hope that you're still tuning in. And if you're over at dailywire.com as one of our members, thank you. We'll be taking questions from you in only a couple of minutes. I suspect several of them will be on this topic. At the Daily Wire, we have a mission. Fight the left and build the future. Our company started on this mission 9 years ago, shooting our first podcast, including yours, Drew, from my converted pool house garage. Since then, we've had a lot of watershed moments. We've taken on the establishment and fought the Biden and Harris administration and their tyrannical vaccine mandate and won. We've created alternatives to the left's corporate hegemony with Jeremy's Razors and our delicious Mayflower cigars. We've taken on Disney and the destruction of innocence with our bent-keyed children's entertainment platform. It now has over 1,000 episodes of wonderful kids content, by the way, and over 100 million minutes viewed. We brought you the most influential documentary of a generation, What is a Woman?, Matt Walsh's seminal work, which helped turn the tide on the anti-human trans movement. Today is another one of those watershed moments in the life of our company. The Daily Wire is taking another giant step toward fulfilling our purpose. Our vision demands that we not just stand on the outside throwing rocks, but that we actually enter the arena ourselves to create and inspire.
Ben Shapiro
and
is
shape the
running for president.
that shapes our future. That's why today I'm proud to announce that Matt Walsh has a brand new movie. And this time, it's coming to the big screen. This time, it's more than just a documentary.
Lady Ballers 2.
Target the twisted racists and grifters who make their living teaching Americans to hate each other and themselves in the name of anti-racism. On September 13th, it's coming to a theater near you, and it's called Am I Racist?
Oh, man. Oh, the looking into the sky. Yes.
Let's be clear what's happening in this country. It's Nazism. Republicans are Nazis. You cannot separate yourselves from the bad white people.
Growing up in the 90s, I never thought much about race. Sure, you noticed, but it never really seemed to matter that much, at least not to me.
Being a white, straight, cisgender man, it's the top of the pile.
I'm on the top of the pile. That's me. Am I racist?
I would really appreciate it if you left.
I'm trying to learn. I'm on this journey.
Can you please leave?
If I'm going to sort this out, I need to go deeper undercover. If I want to be an ally,
He's
I
going to
need
do
look
blackface.
like one.
Oh, fuck. Never mind.
What is racism?
Martin Luther King said not to judge people by the...
Martin Luther King said a lot of stuff.
Is America inherently racist?
What the hell is that?
The word inherent is challenging there. America is racist to its bones. All of the...
So inherently.
Yeah.
The entire system has to burn. And I'm not going to even use save this country. This country is not worth saving. This country is a piece of shit.
Wow.
Oh, sorry.
My God.
Sorry.
They gonna say I'm racist.
Joining us now is Matt, certified DEI expert.
Here's my certification. Where are you guys on your anti-racist journeys? So I'll look around the room and point to who we believe is the most racist person in the room. We want to rename the George Washington Monument to the George Floyd Monument. Would you mind signing it? You will? What do you think about this issue of heteronormativity and how it intersects with the broader structures of racism in society?
They gonna say I'm racist.
What's up with white people? What are you doing to decenter your whiteness?
Who's making it the center? Why are they doing that?
And what you're doing is you're stretching out of your whiteness. Listen more for you in this field. white,
Folks.
White.
Trash.
White supremacy.
White woman.
White boy. White.
Entitlement.
White.
Centering.
White.
Silence.
Is there a black person around
so
here?
there's a black person right here. Does he not exist?
They gon' say
Wow.
I'm racist, but they call everybody racist.
Hi, Robin.
Hi. And what's your name?
I'm Matt.
Matt. Hi, Matt.
Nice to meet you.
Just had to ask who you are because you have to be careful.
Never be too careful.
They gon' say you racist, but they call everybody racist.
That's Robin DiAngelo.
That is Robin.
That is the head of the anti-racist movement.
That's her.
How did you get her?
Can't reveal our secret.
Absolute Kino. So they don't actually have Eastman's memos even in the J6 committee report. They just focus on the. I guess if Chesbro started it, it's probably redundant, but. The fallout. As discussed further in Chapter 5, this email contained Eastman's 2-page memo. Oh, okay. Maybe they go over it later. Okay. Is Rollo actually trying to sue? Who knows? We'll see. Uh-oh. Fucking got him. Hold on. Wow, hi. Hey. Thank you, sir. Wow. DOJ found no significant evidence of fraud. Okay.
Hey.
What?
What's the lichen thing?
What is the lichen
He
thing?
said, "Don't do the lichen thing."
Oh, because he tried to confront me with basic objections when I'd read a fuck ton of things on a particular thing. Like, why the fuck would you ask me about this thing?
Basic objections. I come to you. I've read some shit. I want to talk about it. I'm not trying to get a gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, now you and Dan are in the same objection, the same boat. Eastman memo. Okay, documents on file. Eastman memo.
Hey, buddy.
Be careful. Why does this look so cringe? Dear Mr. President, we're ready to help. This is like a redlined fucking... The media probably does their own, like their own formatting of it. They're not like posting original screenshots of the email, I guess. What is the source, do you think, of this? Do you think they retyped it or reformatted it, or? Can I get a quick yes or no to my donation? Wait, what did you donate asking? What? Strider Stone. When do I get to rent your website service at one point? We're not doing that shit. Fuck that. Let's see. When was this memo transmitted? Wow, Corey Lula, thanks, buddy. Send memo to President Trump. Document on file. $120. By John Eastman. Oh, nice. I see. Okay. Okay, so Eastman sent 2 memos, I think, right? December 23rd memo, okay. Now, 2 memos detailing how to get Pence to contradict the Electoral Count Act. Either choose to count the false electors or force the House delegation, where the Republicans held a majority, to cast a vote for president, ideally choosing to reseat Donald Trump. One on December 23rd. And then another one on January 3rd, I think it said. Eastman Memo, Wargaming, Alternatives. Boom, okay. Boom. Daily Wire is talking about you live right now. Good. Okay. I'm gonna eat this while watch Abba's video.
I think the only unfortunate thing about this whole video is that it might have been out of focus. All right, today's topic, by popular demand, everyone wanted us to cover my girl Destiny and her recent comments. And if you aren't aware, after the Trump assassination attempt, in which I think someone else in the crowd ended up passing away from the bullet that missed Trump, a lot of people had a lot of things to say. A lot of people were talking about it. We were on vacation, so I didn't really give a f. And also, I'm not American, so not my country, not my problem. Destiny made some comments, essentially laughing, didn't really care. If I could summarize everything in a very gleeful tone, he was saying, fuck around and find out, which I hope is a pretty fair summation of what he was essentially trying to say. He says, if you're somebody who engages in violent rhetoric, as Trump does, according to him, and if you're one of his supporters who supports somebody who's an insurrectionist who wanted to overthrow the government, suspend the Constitution, yada, 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 I don't really care if bad things happen to you because you're the kind of person who encourages people to violence. That was a stake, and he's like, I don't care. And he said so by making jokes, and a lot of people had a problem with it. They felt it was insensitive, it was disgusting, etc., etc. Is that a fair summation? Yeah. All right, I saw some people saying he endorses assassination attempts, or he's saying people should. It's not what he said, from everything I've seen, and I'll probably post the clips of him talking about it. He hasn't said that.
Get the dude, the firefighter guy, Trump, the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay, just in case you're confused or it seems like I'm, you don't, whatever. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine, and you end up, getting blown away or whatever the fuck, I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I am 100%.
A person in a crowd cheering for and supporting a traitor to this country caught a stray "I'm so sad, please," as well as Donald Trump incited an insurrection and then was granted full criminal immunity for possibly all of his involvement. I have zero sympathy for anything that happens to him or anyone who supports him. If I've offended anyone with my recent tweets, I'd like to make things right. DM me and I'll buy you front row seats to the next Trump rally. There was this moment where Piers Morgan says you seem almost gleeful, then saying that makes you frankly despicable, with Destiny responding,
I don't think I'm gleeful about anything. I don't think anybody should die. I don't think anybody deserves to die.
Which you can still say is incredibly bad, but I just want to be accurate as possible. So, listen, I'll say this, man. Sometimes y'all DM me or leave me comments. You're like, oh, you afraid to talk about your girl? I don't give a. First off, fuck you and fuck anybody who think I got a problem with saying this shit. I ain't afraid of saying none of this stuff. And I think a lot of you in the fan base have gotten very comfortable because you've seen that for a long time. We've covered trans women in sports or all this other stuff. So you think like we perfectly align with some of you on the far right where you guys are like, I don't believe in none of this. I'm not with you. I have no problem saying that. And if me saying that bothers you, you need to take a hike, okay? Just because I made fun of fucking dweeby liberals who go and want to have safe spaces and do all this corny shit, it does not mean I'm some right-winger who thinks all libs are bad, okay? That's you. Now, we don't align there. If you can handle that, stick around. If you can't, that's none of my business. But don't ever think that I'm afraid to espouse what I'm thinking just to keep you around. I don't care. I'm going to say my thoughts whether you leave or not, whether we go down 1 million subs or not. I don't care. And as far as what Destiny goes, I'm not bothered by it at all. Why? Because the way he talks is normal for American political landscape, okay? I have seen it degenerate over the last 10 years, especially since Trump joined, where people say all kinds of stuff, including Trump himself. I've watched Trump say he wanted to punch protesters in the face.
And he's walking out, and we're not allowed, the guards are very gentle with him. He's walking out like big high fives, smiling, laughing, like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. And we'll stand up to crazy Nancy Pelosi, who ruined San Francisco. How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know?
And what you
we'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, but there's not going to be time. I'm just curious if you have the
speak
right
with
now.
Shane, please.
But you don't.
Sick and tired of you guys. The last time that came in here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here. Jesus. Get the hell out of here. The last guy did the same thing. You were the guardian?
Yes, and you just broke my glasses.
The last guy did the same damn thing.
You just body slammed me and broke my glasses.
Destiny and others have essentially said is being a hypocrite in this situation, tweeting out a screenshot of Rubin memeing about hammer time after what happened to Paul Pelosi. Also linking to when Rubin wrote, here's hoping that AOC, Rashida, and Ilhan join Aaron Bushnell in his brave protest, who, if you don't remember, is the service member who lit himself on fire to protest what was happening in Gaza.
I've seen
Oh shit, I didn't know DeFranco had caught all my my tweets. Damn.
All kinds of politicians from Dan Crenshaw talking about punching Antifa people in the face and talking about violence all the time. It has become normalized in a first world country like America to engage in politics like a third world country. That's how y'all talk about violence and shit in your country. And it's not just Dems. I've seen Republicans do it. And so, do I really care that someone else made a fuck around? I don't care. This is your playground. This is the sandbox that y'all created. You want to condemn all this behavior, you guys go ahead. But as an outsider, I'm just seeing more of the same.
And the thing that happened is that you go on platforms and you call people from the left snowflakes because they're acting a certain way. Yep. Now look at you, you're doing the same thing. Yeah. You guys are doing the same thing. Yeah. Like a snowflake is not someone on the left. A snowflake is just someone that just can't handle being talked about.
Yep.
That's a snowflake. And you can be people on the right, y'all can be snowflakes too.
Yep.
Because the way you're like, I can't believe that's what they doing over there.
Absolutely.
And then you do that over there too. It's just you're the same people. You have the same MO, the same modus operandi, and you have the same way of working as them. You just have different ways of thinking, but it's the same way.
How many times during the BLM protests were people talking about mowing them down or running them over, or doing all kinds of violence? That was normal.
That was normal.
That's you guys talking about your fellow citizens and talking about how you guys want violence against them. And that was normal in the right circles. So don't sit here now and then act like somebody who doesn't care about the fact that a right-winger died is some big surprise to you. You know, that to me is a little bit pathetic. That's Elon Musk pathetic. All talking about, oh, I want to run a free speech platform. You're platforming everything under the sun, from neo to Doesn't matter who it is, okay? You can even have the Ayatollah. He's up there, okay? They can spew whatever they want, anti-gay, anti-black, whatever. Destiny makes that joke, and then you want a pearl clutch? Bro, get him out of here. Get him out of here. This is the biggest amount of pearl clutching I ever seen from most of these people, and the hypocrisy is crazy. Now, if you want to say you're not okay with what Destiny said, I ain't got a problem with that.
You're fine to say.
You can say it's bad behavior because at the end of the day, it's bad from everybody. Destiny's just engaging more with the bad. But do I actually care that all the people, all the pigs playing in the mud look like pigs? No. And I know this video is going to be unpopular with a lot of you. I also don't care. Don't ever think that I'm afraid to say what I'm going to say because it makes some of y'all upset or makes it. I don't give a shit. Is he my friend? Sure. Am I biased because of it? Probably. But honestly, when I sit back and think about it, and even when I talk about it with my people, none of them really disagreed that heavily. So that's how I feel about it. And all of this talk about, oh, you guys are afraid to talk about I don't give a shit. I'm not American. That's your problem. That's your country. Right? I generally don't talk about presidential elections in other countries. It's not my place. You wanted it, you got it. Now you're unhappy with it, door's right there.
You can't talk about freedom of speech, but then when it's not aligned with what you're thinking, you can't say stuff like that. That's not what freedom of speech means.
Bro.
Freedom of speech actually means that the person that disagrees with you have the right to say it.
Yeah.
They have the right to say it. And depending on what they say, there's consequences, but they have the right to say it. Go ahead, say it. Say it out loud with your chest. It might not be in line with what I think. Bro, that's what freedom of speech is. So the minute you have this guy that does not agree with you and says something that you said in the past, it's still freedom of speech. You want it, well, they want it too.
Bro.
And that's how it works.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are it's pretty. You can disagree with what someone and the politics of someone. It's always going to be wild when you're going to be like, oh yeah, if they die, man, people are gonna have a problem with that. That's for sure. You can disagree with the politics of some person and be like, yeah, disagree with the politics, but in wishing death upon the person, or if death happens, like, man, yeah, people are definitely gonna take they're gonna have a problem with it. I think what he was saying was a bit wild, but did he have the right to say it? I believe that he did have the right to say it. What I think was messed up thing, the weird thing, was him getting banned off all the social media and stuff like that.
To be clear, he was banned off of Kick and demonetized, which is like a degenerate platform for pedos and all kinds of KK. Like, they allow everything on that platform that you could imagine in terms of degeneracy. I thought that it was weird that this was where they drew the line. But they did reinstatement, and I think he was demonetized on Twitter by Elon Musk. Free speech champion.
The guy that says, oh, I'm going to buy this platform and I'm going to allow all the free speech, but then you got that one person that does not agree with what you're saying, and then you're doing this exact same thing. You became the enemy, right? Side note, there's this comedy night here in Montreal in French that basically it's GHB, gore, hardcore, and I don't remember what the B stands for, but basically you go in there and you do comedy and you push your jokes to the limit, and it's made for that, right? You go there and you say wild stuff in a comedy setting, right? Jokes that you're never gonna do again and everything and stuff. And I was on the stage at that thing and I didn't number. And I was talking the whole night. There was some other people that went on stage, made jokes about PDF files jokes and all those great jokes and stuff like that. I go on stage, I do a couple of jokes, then I do some jokes on gay people, right? And one of them in the crowd, there was a break. There was like an intermission in the show, and I saw one of the guy outside that was at the show, and he was like, "Oh no, yeah, that comedian, me, I can't like really what he said was no, really, I was not having it because me." Oh, the PDF jokes was alright. The grape jokes was cool. But when
what is it about
when
you?
it was you said nah. You was like, nah, I'm not having it. You're a big hypocrite. You're a big hypocrite. I understand that comedy is just like a drunk uncle at Christmas. It's funny until he touches you. But at the end of the day, you're a big hypocrite. You're a big, huge hypocrite, and that's what it is. That my problem with that is that he's gonna be on all those platforms, like you say, the Kick platform, which obviously you show. I'm not on the platform. I don't know.
I show you,
but
clips.
Everything you show me,
and this is what they
is, and this is where you draw the line.
Okay,
you draw the line at F around and find out, but you got people kissing teenagers, grown-ass men kissing teenagers, and you're cool with that.
You want to laugh? All the political commentators who always talk about how the left is about deplatforming all this stuff, how many of them did I see go online and complain to Elon, talk about this is hate speech, this is inciting, blah, blah, blah. You realize that they're quick to deplatform just as much as the lefties. They'll talk about it, and they'll laugh at liberals and be like, oh, deplatform is so bad. But the moment that them like this happened, they also yell for it. So
same people.
I might have spoken about liberals a lot because that's who I spend most of my time with, but over time and spending enough time around these folks, you just realize that they engage in the exact same stuff. They dox, they deplatform, they encourage all this kind of stuff, from the biggest political commentators to the smallest ones. So
I think that they left and right, y'all the same people.
It really feels like
it's just because you think whenever you pause an action, you do an action, you just think it's righteous because it aligns with what you think.
Yup.
Whether it's left or right, y'all the same.
Yeah,
y'all the same. Well, but I did it because I did it to protect. Well, they did the same thing. They're doing the same thing as well, to protect or to whatever, or to go align or to erase what is wrong, what they believe is wrong. Y'all the same.
And everything we said is factual. You guys can go look this up. You can go look up the facts that a bunch of Republicans have been calling for violence for a long time. You can go look up the fact that a bunch of people on the right, big commentators, have been calling for deplatforming for a long time. So knowing that, I don't know how you guys are going to even argue, but guess what? At the end of the day, much like Ben Shapiro loves to say, what? Facts don't care about your feelings. And I have a feeling that most of the people who reacted to this situation had a very emotional response. That's what it is. I'm detached from all of this.
You guys are quick to say facts don't care about your feelings, when
but
the facts,
in their feelings,
when the facts aligns with your feelings, and then you say facts don't care about your feelings because you don't care about that fact. But when you don't care about that fact, that's you.
I think the only unfortunate thing about this whole video is that it might have been out of focus. Y'all don't even really watch this anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, you can listen to it.
But yeah. It's out of focus, but I'm not re-recording this shit.
Is the audio fire?
Audio works.
Blame the whole shit.
That's it. Anyways, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Yo, I predict this video gonna have a bunch.
Good one. Okay. If you had to pick right now, Trump or Harris, and either, what? Obviously Harris. What do you mean? Jesus. You done your dailies today? No.
While we wait, Bandle. 2013, 500 million views. 2013, I probably won't know it, but I might if they played it at the grocery store. This sounds like that song that goes Riptide. Hey man, I'm gonna fuck with your riptide. I'm insane. I fucking hate that song, dude. Yeah! I'm gonna fuck with your riptide. I'm gonna suck on a big pipe. I'm gonna come in my mama's mouth. That's fucking gross, dude. Why would he say that?
Okay. Do you see Boogie wanted to take 3K donation from St. Jude's if Muda got the play button? What are you talking about? Muda, Boogie, play button. I don't even know what I'm looking for this. What is actually happening with this play button? Is Keemstar going to auction it, or? No one has any idea. We're gonna win that auction, right? I mean, if he's auctioning it off, yeah, I'd probably. Boogie donated $3,000 to St. Jude's, and he should be getting it back. Oh fuck! I would have bought it. Whew, okay. The initial memos, Trump's involvement. People doubted it. Coup memo from Eastman. Okay. There's two final parts to this elector scheme thing. Kind of. It's the Attorney General thing and then the Mike Pence thing. Pence. Gotcha, I got it down. Okay. Pence. If I recall, Boogie didn't want his brother to debate Destiny. Oh, I told him I'd do it. But I never got a response back. On the vice president, it's this right here. Okay. $5.2. The Eastman thing. Vice President. Lawsuit. President Trump's allies filed lawsuits seeking a court order directing Vice President Pence not to count certain electoral votes. Is that true? I didn't even know this. Wait, fuck. I read this in preparation for the... I'm 99% sure I did. In preparation for the Jones and Greenwald debate. I don't even remember this. Pushed a version of Eastman's theory in the courts on December 27th. Gohmert and several Trump campaign's fake electors for the suit of Arizona filed suit against Vice President Pence in the U.S. District Court. As Ward explained, the Mark short in a phone call, the day the suit was filed, President Trump was aware of the lawsuit to sign off on it. Wouldn't have done that without the president telling us it was okay, she told him. In the suit, the plaintiffs alleged that there were competing slates of electors from 5 states. They asked the court to rule that portions of the electoral count of 1887 were unconstitutional and that the 12th Amendment contains the exclusive dispute resolution mechanisms for determining an objection raised by a member of Congress to the electors submitted by the state. Jesus. Oh, the case was like immediately dismissed. Okay. Okay, Vice President. Okay. January 2nd, Pence met with his counsel, Greg Jacob, Chief of Staff Mark Short, and Matt Morgan to discuss the joint session. Morgan was the Trump campaign's general counsel and had previously served as counsel to Vice President Pence. At this point, the Vice President already had a clear understanding of what his role would be in the electoral count, where Vice President Pence was concerned that most people did not understand how the certification of electoral votes worked. So Jacob began drafting a statement for the Vice President to issue on January 6th. The statement is intended to provide a civic education on the joint session, explaining to the American people his actions, including why the Vice President didn't have the authorities that others had, suggested that he might. The men discussed the various points of pressure being applied to the Vice President, including Eastman's theories, the Gomert suit, Ellis's arguments, as well as how the electoral count process should work. He also discussed allegations of irregularities and maladministration of the election, concluding that none of the allegations raised were sufficient to reverse President Trump's defeat. While Vice President Pence recognized Congress's authority under the Electoral Count Act to raise objections to the certification, neither he nor his staff were aware of any evidence of fraud that would have had a material effect on the outcome of the election in any state. Because of President Trump's repetition of election fraud allegations, Jacob and the Vice President's staff conducted their own evaluation of those claims. Jacob asked Morgan to send the campaign's best evidence of election fraud, maladministration, irregularities, and abuses in the system. The Vice President's legal staff memorialized the review they conducted of these materials in a memo to Vice President Pence, which concluded most allegations of sustained voter fraud, defined to mean the casting of legal ballots in violation of prevailing election laws, are either relatively small in number or cannot be verified. Pence also discussed the Trump campaign's fake electors with his advisors. Both Jacob and Morgan assured Pence that there were not dual slates of electors. The electors organized by the Trump campaign were not valid. Morgan had already written a memo on the topic in December, concluding that the alternate electors, that is, fake, lacked a certificate of ascertainment issued by the state. Without such an ascertainment, the Trump campaign's fake electors had no standing during the joint session. Jacob had also prepared a flowchart memo outlining each of the legal provisions implicated in the joint session. On January 6th, Jacob advised Pence that none of the slates that had been sent in would qualify as an alternate slate within the meaning of the Electoral Count Act. Pence was still worried about the fake elector issue, that it was sowing confusion, so he wanted his statement on January 6th to be as transparent as possible. That same day, January 2nd, Mark Short released a brief statement on behalf of the Vice President. Vice President Pence shares the concerns of millions of Americans about real voter fraud and irregularities. The statement, let's see. On January 2nd, Pence went over the procedures of the certification of the election as set out in the Electoral Count Act. With his counsel, Greg Jacob, Chief of Staff Mark Short. That's the Vice President Chief of Staff, I imagine, right? And the Trump campaign's general counsel, Matt Morgan. Team published. Wait, wrong. January 6th, no, January 2nd, statement by Pence. Mark Short. Six days ago. Can I find this statement? Released a brief statement on behalf of the Vice President. Said in a statement to CNN. Okay. What is this?
You can do it, baby. I love you so much. And it's bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I didn't do it. You.
Okay. Okay. Okay, a statement of CNN intending to clarify that the Vice President does not have the power to unilaterally change the election outcome. Having to clarify as concisely as possible to the public as to the role of the Vice President on January 6th. A statement to CNN. This was January 3rd, 2021. CNN. January 3rd, access 24/07/23.